All right, let's go to Illinois, and we'll talk with Andy. Hi, Andy. What you got for us today?
Hi, I would like to talk about forgiveness.
Yes.
I was listening to you when you were talking about choices, with Adam and Eve choices, everybody choices, but a choice was made upon me, which it wasn't my choice, but I am trying to forgive certain individuals that took advantage of me.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling with that, like, very hard.
Yeah. Okay. All right, how can I help?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you want me to go into details. I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse and rape. And the situation was with a family member, with cousins, and to where my mother had found out, but yet she didn't help me like she should have. So, of course, I just took that down because, like, the person that's supposed to, I don't know what we even call it. So I just shut down, and I went into drugs and just did a lot of destructive things in my life. Yeah. But I've been clean for over 20 years now. However, and I'm starting to read the Bible, starting to go back to church, and I want to forgive my mother, and I want to forgive my brother, but I just do not know how, because I'm very angry at it. And to be honest with you, I do blame God.
Yeah.
For what I went through.
Yeah. All right, Andy. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. My heart breaks for you. I'm so sorry that happened. As far as forgiveness goes, I mean, people maybe have told you things that aren't quite accurate. They'll say things like, forgiveness is a process, and then that leaves us dangling. If it's a process, then how long does it take? Does it take a year, a decade, longer? Like, how can it be a process? And then how do I know when I've arrived, or how do I know when I'm ready? Other people, maybe they've sort of told us that forgiveness is a feeling. Well, I kind of want to forgive, but then the anger feelings dominate. And so if forgiveness is a feeling, I'm not feeling it. And so we hear that forgiveness is a process, that it's progressive, that it takes time, and then we hear that it's a feeling and all of that. And then, we even hear that forgiveness is for the other person, and they're not even apologizing. They're not even saying they're sorry, and they're covering it up or hiding it or whatever. And so all of those things are lies. Those are lies, and they will keep you in bondage. So I want to attack those lies right now and help you. Number one, forgiveness is not a process. It does not take years and decades. People say that because their feelings are on a level 10. I mean, they're outraged, they're furious. And so they go, I don't feel ready. So forgiveness must be a process. No, forgiveness is a choice. It is a decision. And you can make that decision. You really can. You can even decide when you don't feel like it. And so let me describe what forgiveness looks like. It looks like canceling a debt. When you cancel someone's debt, imagine they owe you a lot of money, and you decide to cancel their debt. Well, you have forgiven their debt. That's what God did for us. He forgave our debt. That's what we can do for others. So first of all, though, we have to assess the damage, okay? You can't forgive a debt unless you know what the debt is. All right, so what do I mean? Well, let's assess the damage here. You might spend an hour with the Lord where you write everything down, and you say, Lord, I want you to bring to memory everything that happened. I was raped. I was violated. I was abused. I was disrespected. I was discarded. I was treated like trash. I was devalued. And that's just the one who did it. And so there's that. And then there's those who covered it up and kept it a secret, or overlooked it, or refused to confront it. I felt betrayed. I felt abandoned. I felt alone. I felt belittled. Tremendous damage. And so, you mentioned God. It's okay to be angry with God. It is. I mean, obviously we work through that, but what I'm saying is God's not going to break. You're not going to hurt him. God's not going to break. So, Lord, it hurt me when you let it happen. It made me feel confused and bewildered and wondering, where were you? I mean, that sounds to me like David in the Psalms. David in the Psalms is like, God, what's up? What's happening? Where were you? What's going on? It's okay to express all of that. And so then what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is, they owed me. Let's go back to the violator. They owed me respect. They owed me dignity. They owed me self-control. They owed me value and respect and honor. And they didn't give it to me. They did the opposite. They did the polar opposite. But I choose to forgive them. I choose. That's the key word. Right now, Lord, in front of you, with you as my witness, I choose as an act of my will, because I am a forgiving person in Christ. I've got a new heart, a forgiving heart. I'm born again. You made me different on the inside. I choose as an act of my will to forgive them and release them from anything that they owe me. So obviously that doesn't do away with common sense. People who are not safe, you get away from them. People who can't be trusted, you watch out. You get away from them. Get away from abusers. Get away from abuse. Be wise. But the lie, and this gets me to the third lie that I mentioned, forgiveness is not really for them. You don't have to have a conversation with those folks if you don't want to. Sometimes you're forgiving somebody who's dead. Sometimes you're forgiving somebody who's moved away and you don't know how to reach them. Sometimes you've forgiven somebody who doesn't want anything to do with you and won't talk to you anyway. So it's not about needing to talk to them, and it's not about them. It's not for their benefit. Forgiveness is primarily for you, the forgiver. It frees you. It frees you up from bitterness and resentment. And so we really have highlighted a few lies there. Number one, forgiveness is not a process. It doesn't take years and decades. That is a lie, and you'll sit around waiting, and you'll waste your whole life thinking that forgiveness is a process. No, forgiveness is a decision. Number two, forgiveness is not a feeling. If you wait for the feeling, it may never come. And so forgiveness is not a feeling, it's a choice. And then number three, forgiveness is not primarily for other people. It's for you, so that you are not controlled by bitterness and resentment. So why would you do this? You would do this for you. And so maybe you have a sheet of paper and you have a half hour of time with God, and you just say, Lord, bring to mind everything that my brother did. Bring it to mind. You fill a whole sheet of paper with what your brother did. Then on the back, you say, how did that make me feel? You write down all the feelings, all the damage. Then you get out a new sheet of paper, and it's your parents, who they dropped the ball on this. They didn't get involved. They didn't protect you. And you write down everything they did and everything they said, and then you turn it over every way that it made you feel. And then you can even have, I know people get controversial about this, but you could even have a sheet of paper for God. Not that God sins. God doesn't sin. But sometimes we have expectations of God. God, why did you let this happen? You could have a sheet of paper for God. He's not going to break. He wants to hear your concerns. God, it hurt me when you didn't fix it. God, it hurt me when you didn't rescue me. God, it hurt me when you didn't stop it. And so now you have your brother, your parents, and even God, and you've expressed everything to the Lord. You've been real with him, like David in the Psalms. What do you do with all that? Then you make the decision. Lord, in your presence right now, I take this debt, I take these expectations and this debt and this pain and this hurt and all the things that it caused, and I forgive them and I cancel that debt and I release them. And Lord, I release you from any expectation that I had for you. And that's what forgiveness looks like. And it's a choice, and you don't have to wait. And the good news is you can do it today, and the benefit is for you. So, Andy, I want to put you back on and see, does that make sense, my friend?
Yes, it makes 100% sense. It does.
Good. Okay. Well, then I'm gonna urge you to take the next step. And the next step is, don't wait. Don't wait for a feeling. Don't wait for a process. And go ahead and do exactly what I outlined for you, given the extent of the damage and the extent of the pain and the history of what you've been through. That's a really good way to do it. Take 45 minutes, an hour out of your life. Have 3 sheets of paper. You know what to do with each sheet of paper. And you know what to do at the very end. Just say, God, you made me a forgiving person. You gave me a new heart, a forgiving heart. I'm a forgiving person in Christ. And right now I choose as an act of my will to forgive them and release them from anything they owe me. I cancel their debt. So that's done for your benefit. I urge you, my friend, do it today. Don't wait another month, another year. You can choose. You can choose. And in fact, you want to. You want to. At a heart level, God has made it so that you want to. You want to forgive. And it will free you from that bitterness. Then what happens? A month later, a week later, whatever, that thought comes back, that angry thought, that resentful thought, that bitter thought. Those thoughts might not vanish. When they come back, you say, no, I remember what I chose. I forgave that. I released that. I canceled that. I remember the day. It was Sunday afternoon. It was a Sunday in late September, and I remember. And so you count on that decision that you made, and you walk forward in light of it. And so I hope that helps you. Please reach out to me, call again, or email me at any time at andrew@andrewfarley.org. We really, really care about you and want to be available to you whenever you need it, my friend. So thank you for calling in.